Stand on My Own, so that's the hit record.
Sometimes you fall out with the person you love, and I fell out with Kids in America for quite some time.
I said, what do you remember most about Kids in America? And he went, "We're the kids in America, oh."
It's got a great hook. You can play it again and again, which is what good pop music must be. And it's got a gorgeous girl singing the lyrics.
So my lyrics mean nothing, really.
We were very, very hungry, and we knew exactly what we wanted.
I was a lot more ambitious than I probably let on.
Looking out a dirty old window, down below the cars in the city go rushing by. I sit here alone and I wonder why. Friday night and everyone's moving. I can feel the heat, but it's soothing heading down. I search for the beat in this dirty downtown. The young ones are going. Downtown, the young ones are growing. We're the kids in America. Whoa. We're the kids in America. Whoa. Everybody live for the music around.
Kids in America er engelske Kim Wildes første og største hit. En moderne klassiker, som i 1981 gør en 20-årig pige med et mystisk blik til ikon for et årti. Hende, pigerne vil ligne og drengene vil kysse. Kids in America skrives af Kim Wildes far Marty Wilde, som var teenageidol i 50'erne, og af hendes lillebror, barnestjernen Ricky Wilde. Og det er et rent tilfælde, at Kim Wilde ender med at synge sangen. Det er 30 år siden Kids in America udkom, den dag Kim og Ricky Wilde ankommer til RAG-studiet i Nord-London, der hvor det hele startede.
Always a very exciting time walking into this place, because you always felt there was magic about to happen, and it just felt so vibey. This very person, Jenny, would be sitting at the front. All these years later, she's still here, beavering away like she always has done, and yeah, all these lovely gold Ampex awards.
Kim Wilde bliver den engelske kvinde, som får flest hits i 80'erne. Men den imponerende rekord er drømme og ren fantasi, da hun som ung amatør møder op til sin første videooptagelse.
She turned up with her brother and brought her own clothes and her own jacket and that famous T-shirt. Everybody remembers that T-shirt. And looked at the set and was very shy. I always remember that.
There were all these people there, and runners and cameras and lights and makeup people.
And she said, "So tell me exactly what you want me to do." And I sort of looked at her a bit strange. I said, "Well, just sing the song." And she just sort of whispered, "Look, I've never done anything like this before, ever." I was a backing singer, and I panicked straight away. Got a big film crew there, all this stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this girl has never performed, ever.
He had a young 20-year-old on his hands who didn't know really what was going on.
Each time we have a quarrel, it almost breaks my heart.
'Cause I am so afraid that we will have to part. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love?
I was always, Marty Wilde's daughter, and so I was used to people kind of making double takes, noticing me, pointing me out. So when it started happening to me, it wasn't such a culture shock.
Kim vokser op med berømte forældre. Mor Joyce Wilde er medlem af dansegruppen The Vernon Girls, og Marty Wilde er en af verdens allerførste popstjerner. Det er Marty Wilde og Cliff Richard, som pigerne skriger efter i England i starten af 60'erne.
Rubber Ball and Marty Wilde. Bouncy, 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 bouncy.
I didn't really want Kim to be a pop star. I didn't want Kim in the industry because I think it's a tough industry. I wanted Kim to have a long career, and I wanted Kim to be happy. That was the foremost thing.
This is when Ricky and I first got an idea that perhaps we could make sweet music together. So look, he must have only been about one, and I was about two. You see how protective I am. I've always got my arms around him, looking after him. There again. Big old arm.
Egentlig er det Kim Wildes lillebror, som er det musikalske talent. Ricky Wilde har som 11-årig et hit med sangen I Am an Astronaut.
I am an astronaut. I am an astronaut.
All the focus was about Ricky Wilde being famous and being a pop star. There was Donny Osmond, there was David Cassidy, young showbiz kids. I mean, of course, Michael Jackson being the youngest of all of them. And in the UK, there was Ricky Wilde.
He's a real con man. Yeah, that's what I am.
I did backing vocals on I'm an Astronaut with my mum. So that was the first hit record that I was involved in singing on. And I remember at the time, I think I probably was a little bit jealous. He knew how to look cute. Look at that. He wasn't really prepared for it. How could he be? You know, how could he be at 11 years old?
I think I was too young, to be honest with you. I was only 11.
He was picked on at school and teased, kind of predictably. And which is one of the reasons I think he left school so soon.
Because I was in all the girly papers and I got a bit of stick, and I thought, well, that's the downside. And you know, the upside was having a great time doing it, but the downside was all the crap you got with it. And I thought, well, I don't really want to be famous, but I want to make records and I want to produce and I want to write, you know.
I just didn't think it was for me in the family. I mean, the focus was on Ricky, and so I had to go somewhere else.
Kim starter på kunstskole, mens Ricky dropper ud af skolen, spiller med sin fars band og drømmer om en karriere som sangskriver og producer.
I'd come up with 3 or 4 tracks that I was really particularly happy with. So then I had a chat with Dad and I said, you know, who should I approach? And my dad said he'd done a lot of work with Mickie Most, and I'd seen a lot of Mickie Most on the TV. He used to front a program which was in those days similar to the X Factor, but it was called New Faces, and Mickie was the main man.
It's the New Faces All Winners Show.
This is our panel tonight. Mickie Most. And beside Mickie Most,
Ricky Wilde kontakter topproducer Mickie Most og bliver kaldt ind til et møde med manden, som har spottet talenter som blandt andre The Animals og Hot Chocolate.
It just feels like yesterday that I was walking up these very stairs for the first time. Quite an impressive room, and especially at the age of 18 when you come up here and it's like, wow, this is what I want, you know. And Mickie used to sit in that chair, king of the castle, and we used to be sitting down here. So he was always above us. And I'd be like that. He said, whilst I think the songs are quite good, because I was singing these at the time, I'd like to take you into my studio, but with another producer.
Selvom Ricky Wildes drøm er selv at producere, kender han sin plads og sætter sig ved siden af og ser på. Men midt i sessionen kommer han med et forslag, som ændrer alt, da han siger,
I'm hearing some girl backing vocals on this track. Do you mind if I bring my sister in? So Steve said, by all means, if she can sing, you know, bring her in, no problem.
I was so envious in a way. I just thought, oh, I want to be part of this. I could see Ricky was really had caused a lot of excitement here, and Mickie was so taken by because he was so young. You were only just 18, weren't you? And I said, oh, okay, I'll be there doing the backing vocals.
And Kimmy went into the studio, and while she was singing, Mickie came in halfway through the session and saw Kim and heard her, and he sort of reached over to Steve and had a quiet word in his ear, and I'm kind of like listening. And he said, she looks really good. I think we could do something with Kim. She looks good. She's got a good voice. Maybe you could go in, Steve, and do something with her.
Mickie Most har på få sekunder set lyset i Rickys søster.
And that's when Mickie saw me and thought I was pop star material.
Ricky Wilde ser sit livs chance, og han ved, at han skal handle hurtigt, så produceren Steven ikke snupper hans søster. Samme aften i Hertfordshire, hjemvendt fra London, involverer han sin far.
I said to Dad, look, this is an opportunity here because I know Mickie really likes Kim and likes her voice. And I really want to sort of get in and pip Steve Glenn to the post and produce and write a song for her. So he said, come on then. So the two of us sat down and we wrote Kids in America. It happened incredibly quickly, about less than an hour. Kim wasn't there at all. That was just me and Dad trying to come up with the song as the vehicle to get Kim up here singing her own song for Mickey.
It was a team effort. It definitely was. Rick was the main man in my eyes.
We wrote the song in our front room. I had this little synth called a Wasp synth. You press one button and you could get a rhythm, so you just get the LFO happening, so it go bum 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 bum, and that was the inspiration towards the intro. At the time I was very much into Gary Newman and hearing all those bass lines that he used to have.
We are so fragile, advertising lies that are whiter than yours.
Looking out a dirty old window, na 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 da 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 da. I got that da da da, which is very Gary Newman.
Down in the park where the Macmen meet, the machines and play kill by numbers.
Looking out a dirty old wind. It kind of just fitted.
But we didn't have the title "We're the Kids in America" at that moment. It was just a da 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 da.
The song title is the most important thing at first. It is something that's a little bit different, something that's got an edge to it.
Bless Dad, he's the one who came up with the title. We were in the studio, we had everything but the title pretty much. And he goes, "What about Kids in America?" That's the one, that'll do. Lovely.
We're the kids in America, whoa. Because that would have been a brass part normally, or a guitar stab. But it sounded better with voices, so we put the voices in. And it's one of the things that grabs the audience. That's the bit. Up go the hand, whoa.
Kids in America skrives i 1980. Ricky Wilde er et barn af sin tid. Et barn af synthesizer, new wave og punk. Men han er også fars dreng og har den gode melodi i blodet.
I was kind of caught in a bit of a conundrum where I loved the punk side of stuff, but I loved a good tune as well. So all my writing had the vibe of punk, but it was actually it's pure pop, really.
Den hellige trekant Marty, Ricky og Kim Wilde har på få dage skrevet og indspillet en popsang, som nu skal præsenteres for pladeselskabsmanden og talentspotteren Mickie Most.
And I was really pleased with that. I thought this is sounding really cool, and brought the master up to Mickey, and went into his room. I said, "Mickey, I've got a track that I've done with Kim, and I want you to have a listen and see what you think." And he put it on, and the moment it finished, he said, "Rick, that is a smash hit record." And I just felt $1 million.
Ricky Wilde ser øjeblikkeligt sit navn på væggen i Rack, men så siger Mickie Most.
But I think it needs remixing.
Friday night and everyone's moving. I can feel the heat, but it's soothing, heading down. I search for the beat in this steady town. Downtown, the young ones are going. Downtown, the young ones are growing.
Mickey and I remixed Kids in America in this very studio, on this very desk.
It's the same curtains, same lino on the steps coming up to the studio, the same, just everything's the same. I don't even think they've given it a lick of paint, have they?
It still feels like Mickey's going to walk in, isn't it?
Yeah, these are from Studio 2 with Mickey looking over the desk here at a very young Ricky, who only, just 18 or something, weren't you?
Yes.
Picture Dad when he was lying down. Because Dad used to be in the studio with us all the time. He'd be lying there with his cigarette and his cowboy hat, just listening to the music.
This is exactly what it was like as well. I'd be sitting here waiting for it to go down. There she is. And then he used to hit the button, and that used to go through to her headphones, and we used to converse and have chats about ideas and